My teenage daughter's 23, and me test results just proved my husband has another family. My teenage daughter's DNA test didn't just rewrite our family tree. It exposed a second life my husband had been living in secret. What started as a harmless Christmas gift, a discounted ancestry DNA kit, became the spark that blew up the carefully staged illusion of the perfect suburban family. My teenage daughter wanted to see where we came from, like her favorite TikTok creators. When the results arrived, she expected percentages and fun maps. Instead, she found siblings we never knew existed, tied to the same man she calls Dad. The story that follows is written in the style of a long-form Reddit confession. Raw, personal, and structured like the kind of post that keeps people up at 2 a.m., scrolling through updates and comments. The Christmas gift that backfired. Last Christmas, I was desperate for something meaningful but affordable for my teenage daughter, Emma. She is 16, obsessed with true crime podcasts and those ancestry videos where people discover long-lost cousins. When I saw a holiday sale on DNA kits, it felt like the perfect, fun science present. We joked about maybe finding out we had royalty somewhere in the family line. My husband, Mark, chuckled along but seemed oddly dismissive. He said things like, "You don't need a lab to tell you who your parents are." I brushed it off as his usual practical attitude. Emma took the test the day after Christmas, filmed a little unboxing, and then promptly forgot about it. Life went back to normal. School, work, dinner, scrolling on the couch. 6 weeks later, an email popped up on her phone with the subject line, "Your DNA matches are ready." She opened it in the kitchen, in front of both of us. That was the moment everything changed. Why does it say I have 2 more siblings? I was rinsing dishes when I heard Emma say, Mom," in a tone that sent a chill through my spine. She was staring at her phone, eyes wide. I wiped my hands and walked over, expecting some silly joke. Instead, she turned the screen toward me. At the very top of her DNA matches were 2 names we didn't recognize, both labeled close family sibling. Underneath each name, it listed a 50% match. I frowned, confused. "That must be a glitch," I said, almost automatically. Mark, sitting at the table with his laptop, froze. He didn't even turn to look. "Dad," Emma asked, "why does it say I have 2 more siblings?" The silence that followed was louder than any argument we'd ever had. Mark finally stood up and muttered, "These tests are unreliable. Don't put too much faith in that thing." But his face had gone pale and his hands were shaking. Emma noticed. So did I. The message request that broke the spell. Later that night, after Mark went to bed unusually early, Emma knocked on my bedroom door, clutching her phone. "Mom, they messaged me," she whispered. Her hands were trembling. I shifted over and let her sit beside me on the bed. On the screen was a polite, careful message from a girl named Lily. "Hi, I think we might be related. I've been trying to find my father for years. Your DNA came up as a close match. I hope this isn't too weird. Did your dad ever live in Chicago?" My heart started pounding. Mark had traveled for work to Chicago several times early in our marriage. I never thought much of it. Business trips were part of his job. Suddenly, those memories felt different. Emma looked at me with tears in her eyes. "Mom, what if this is real?" she asked. I didn't have an answer. For the first time in 16 years, I realized there might be parts of our story I didn't know at all. The confrontation at the dining table. The next morning, I asked Mark to sit down at the dining table before he left for work. Emma joined us, her DNA results open on her tablet. The room felt colder than usual, even though the heater hummed in the background. "Mark," I began, "we need to talk about these matches." I slid the tablet toward him. He glanced at it and pushed it back, saying, "Those sites just want your data. They're not accurate." Emma's voice cracked. "One of them knows where you used to live." She asked if her father ever worked in IT and traveled between Chicago and our state. "That's you, Dad." Mark finally looked at her, and in that moment I saw something break in his eyes. Not anger, not denial, just a deep, exhausted resignation. "I was going to tell you," he said quietly. "Someday." The word, someday, felt like a slap. 16 years of marriage, and suddenly I was wondering what other conversations he had planned for a day that never came. The second family comes into focus. Over the next few days, more pieces of the puzzle fell into place like jagged glass. Through careful messages with Lily, we learned she was 19 and had a younger brother, Max, age 13. Their mother had been in a long-term relationship with Mark years ago. They believed he had simply left. According to Lily, their mother never badmouthed him. She told them their father had another life he couldn't walk away from, and that it was complicated. Lily didn't want money, she said. She just wanted medical history and closure. Reading those words made my stomach twist. Somewhere out there were two kids who shared half of my daughter's DNA, who had grown up wondering why their father never came back. Meanwhile, in our house, Mark was the involved dad, the one who never missed a school play or a doctor's appointment. Emma stared at their photos for a long time, then whispered, "They look like me." And they did. Secrets, excuses, and the shattered image. When I finally got Mark alone, I demanded the full story. No interruptions, no deflections, just the truth. He sat on the edge of our bed, hands clasped, staring at the floor. He admitted he'd been in a serious relationship with Lily and Max's mother before we met. She became pregnant, and according to him, their relationship was already falling apart. They split, and he moved states for a job right around the time I met him. He claimed he sent money for a while, then lost contact. "You didn't lose contact," I said. "You stopped trying." He didn't argue. Instead, he said the words that made my chest ache. "I was scared you'd leave if you knew. I wanted a fresh start." That fresh start had been my reality. Our wedding, our mortgage, our daughter, all built on a secret he had decided I couldn't be trusted with. The problem wasn't just his past. It was his choice to bury it and let us live on top of the lie. Emma's heartbreak and hard questions. If my heartbreak was heavy, Emma's was sharp. She alternated between anger and guilt, as if her curiosity had somehow broken our family. One night, she sat at the kitchen table, her homework untouched, and asked, "Did you know about them at all, Mom?" I shook my head. No, if I had, things would have been very different. She stared at the grain of the table and whispered, "Do they hate me? Are they mad that I got the version of him who stayed?" I wanted to tell her it wasn't her fault, that love and loyalty aren't a limited resource. But the reality was that, in practice, they had been. Time, attention, presence, those had been limited. Mark had given them to us and not to them. Later, I found her in her room, scrolling through Lily's social media page. Photos of birthdays, school dances, and holidays, without a father in sight. Emma wiped her eyes and said, "I don't know if I'm more mad at him for lying to us or for leaving them." Meeting the other kids. After weeks of messages and video calls, Emma asked if she could meet Lily and Max in person. We chose a neutral place, a quiet park halfway between our cities. I drove Emma there myself. Mark wasn't invited. That was Emma's decision, and I respected it. When we arrived, I recognized them instantly. Same eyes. Same crooked half-smile Emma has when she's unsure of herself. Lily stood up first and gave Emma a tentative hug, like they were both afraid the other might disappear. The conversation was awkward at first, school, music, random small talk, but then shifted into heavier territory. They compared stories about what they knew of Mark. The timelines overlapped in ways that made my skin crawl. "So while he was taking me to soccer," Emma said softly, "you were wondering if he'd remember your birthday." There was no yelling, no dramatic scene, just three teenagers sitting on a park bench, quietly piecing together the truth about the man who had shaped all of their lives in different, uneven ways. Choosing dignity over drama. In the weeks that followed, the internet would probably have wanted a spectacular scene. Clothes on the lawn, screaming matches, viral videos. Reality was quieter but somehow more intense. I met with a lawyer. I started separating finances. I told Mark calmly that I could forgive his past, but not the way he let us live under a secret that wasn't his alone to keep. Emma began building a relationship with her newly discovered siblings, slowly and on her terms. Sometimes she'd come home from hanging out with them, looking emotionally drained but strangely lighter. "At least now I know," she would say. As for Mark, he started therapy and asked if there was any chance at rebuilding. I told him that healing was possible, but not guaranteed, and that the first priority was making things right with all of his children, not just saving his marriage. We didn't explode. We unraveled carefully, making sure the kids, all 3 of them, had something solid to stand on. What DNA can't measure? If this were a short online post, this is the part where people would ask, "So, what did you do?" The truth is less cinematic and more human. I filed for separation. I focused on therapy for myself and for Emma. I encouraged Mark to show up consistently for Lily and Max, not as a grand gesture, but as steady repair. The DNA test revealed biology, but it also revealed character. It showed who chose honesty and who chose convenience. It proved that secrets have a half-life, and eventually, they reach the next generation. The real lesson isn't, never take a DNA test. It's this. Truth delayed is rarely truth preserved. It's trust destroyed. Children are not footnotes in adult mistakes. They are the ones who pay interest on those decisions. A perfect family image means nothing if it is built on edited reality. The morality of this story is simple but heavy. Love is more than genetics. It is responsibility. Courage isn't never making mistakes. It is choosing to tell the truth even when it might cost you everything. If you're hiding a secret that could reshape someone's identity, you are holding their life hostage. The kindest time to tell the truth was then. The second kindest time is now.